Morning, everybody. Steve Bergen here, and I am going to do what I've been asked to do a number of times and try to do a comparison of Excel on the left and Google Drive spreadsheet on the right. Both are wonderful products, and they're so similar, it's amazing. So if I come on the left, and I'm going to start with problem 2, we know that I can go up to the border between A and B, and I can move the split bar between A and B, or I can double click, and it's going to make that column fit exactly, right? So if I come over here and I type hello and I double click on the border between B and C, it fits exactly. If I type goodbye and I double click, it fits exactly. I come over here to Google Drive on the right and I type hello and I double click between B and C, and it fits exactly where it says hello. And now I go to goodbye and I double click on that and it fits exactly where it says hello and goodbye. I want to wipe that out. I'll click there and I'll drag down, and that fills down the blank cell into those two. And so we have two very good products. Of course, they have differences, but the differences are relatively minor. You can do virtually anything on Excel in Google Drive, and you can do anything virtually on Google Drive on Excel. No, that's not true. That's not true, because you have this whole sharing module right over here, and on this sharing module, the sharing module is one of the unique features of the Google Drive environment. And the fact that I can share this file, right, very easily with somebody else, and is what's cool and unique. And the fact that I can, after I give that person permission, right, and I can send that person a note, the fact that I can choose to have that person be editor, comment, or view only, puts Google Drive into a whole different category than Microsoft Excel. Now, are there things you can do on Microsoft Excel that you can't do on Google Drive? Yes, but not many. You can easily take these names that are here in the left-hand side in Excel, and you can colorize them so they look nice. You can make them italicized, right? You can go up to a line, and you can align them center, and then you can even go under the menu format cells, and you can go alignment, and you can twist them so they're a little bit at an angle. Okay, and that's kind of cool that you could do that. Whoops, I must have botched it. I did it again. Format, cells, turn it at an angle, and then click OK. So I could do that in Excel. Let me take that back so we get back to normal. In Google Drive, which I call GD, but it's easier, I can take that. Yes, I can make it bold. I can make it italicized, but I can't really colorize that. No, maybe that's wrong. I can colorize that. I can center it. No, that's wrong. I can center it. I can't twist it. I can't make those things be at an angle. At least not yet. But then all of a sudden we'll wake up after the Red Sox win the next World Series, and we will find out that Google Drive just changed in November of 2014 or November of 2015. And that's another striking advantage of the GD environment. Changes just happen. Now, let's do some problems here. Over here we see that we have something about Moore's Law and we want to wrap that. So let's make sure you are aware that I could highlight that area right there, and then I can choose the merge feature by going Format, Cells, and I can go Wrap Text and Merge, and then those words come nicely into that, looking like a paragraph, and I could then colorize it over here. Let's do the same thing in Google Drive. I will click, I will drag, I will go to, I don't think it's under Format, I think it's this icon, Wrap Text, and then I think it's the icon of Merge, which is right over here. And now I've got an environment that looks pretty much the same on GD on the right hand side as I have on Excel in the left hand side. Okay, let's try to do that problem because it's a cool problem. First of all, in Excel, I'll come to column E and I'll type in 1982 and I'll type in $2,000, which is when I actually did buy a computer when I started Summer Core, and then I will do something to give me the numbers from 1982 to the current. So I will go equals, even though there's other ways to do it, equals E1 plus 2, which is a formula. I'll click in the bottom right and I'll fill that down. And now I'm in 2012, and now I'm in 2014. And now I'll do a formula. All formulas begin with equals. So I'll go equals that divided by 2. And now I'll click there and I will bring down, and I'll see that that $2,000 computer will be worth about 3 cents right now. And I will format that to be Format, Cells, and number and currency, and click OK. It's no different in Google Drive, none whatsoever. Right? I will come here and type in the word 1982. I will type in 2000. I will come here and go equals that cell plus 2. I will click and I will drag down, and then I will come here and I will go that equals that. Let's throw in a little factor here instead of this, right? So it's not exactly the same. Let's say that it's 50%, and I'll put the factor of 0.5 here, and this is the, we'll call it the Moore's factor. And now I'll go equals this 2000. Instead of dividing it by 2, I will say times this, and because that's going to be a constant, I'm going to put a $ in front of the 3, same as I would in Excel, because dollar means declare it a constant regarding that value, and then I'll press return, and now I will bring down to 2014, and I'll have the same results, and I'll have the same ability to take this and declare that as money, and it's worth 3 cents today from 1982. And yes, and this is partly a joke, you could take these numbers and you could go to Format, Cells, and Alignment, and you can twist that a little bit so it's going down at an angle, and then click OK. And you can't do that in Google Drive. So that's one of the things, and yes, I know there are some more, but that's one of the things that is different between the two. Okay, let me take that back. Okay, the fact that's cool about Moore's Law is that this is 0.5, and if I change that to 0.4, then all the numbers change. And if I change that to 0.9, then all the numbers change. Can you see the formulas under the hood in Google Drive? Yes, cool feature. View, sixth one down, all formulas, and you can see the formulas. Can you see the formulas under the hood in Excel? Yes, it's under Excel Preferences, and it's buried a little bit, but we can do it. I believe it's under General. And am I wrong about that? Yeah, I think I am. I'm looking for formulas here. Excel, maybe it's under View Formulas. There it is, Show Formulas. Click OK. And we do see the formulas here. It's a little messy because of my screens, but I will move it over and you see the formulas. So that same feature exists in both. And I will go to Preferences and turn that off so we can get back to normal. Okay. Great. Let's see if we can do another problem showing you that I will undo some of this so we can get back to problem 2. Okay. Problem 2 said change these names into first and name and last name. So in Excel, for years and years, you highlight the names. So I'm highlighting from Larry Bird to Ted Williams. And then I'm going under the data menu. And you may not be able to see that I'm pulling in data, but I am. And under the data menu, there's something called text to columns on Excel. So I choose text to columns. And what it's going to do is say to me, do you want to do it by what's called a delimiter? Sorry about that language, it's complicated, but just means the separator between the first name Larry and the last name Bird. So I choose next, and I usually just throw or switch on all of these so that whatever the delimiter is between first name and last name, it will use that to automatically detect, and then I choose finish, and now I've separated my first name and last name into 2 columns. Is Excel better? No. Is it worse? No. The same feature works here. It's slightly different. So I'm going to come to where it says Larry Bird, and this time I'm going to use a formula. All formulas begin with equals. So I'm going to use what's called the split formula. So I'm going to say split that cell by the delimiter called space, and now I will press return or enter, and it splits. Remember, now I'm in the formula mode, so I'm going to get rid of all formulas. So there you see Larry Bird. Then you click over here and you pull down, and now you see the same thing on the right that you see on the left, although we used a different method. We used the split method, and that just a little nuance. Not better or not worse. While we're on the subject of what's the same and different, you know that I can come over here and I could say Mount Rushmore, because I do believe Larry belongs on the sports Mount Rushmore, and I will double click on C, and now I could click on that and fill down, and that's always been cool in Excel. What is nice as well, and I'll undo that, is if I type in Sunday, I click and pull down, I get the days of the week. If I type in January and I click and I get the days, the months of the year. In Google Drive, it doesn't have that feature yet. If you click on Monday and you pull down, you don't get the days of the week. Whoops, oh my God, you do. I didn't know that. Well, they must have done that, right? Who knows when they did that? They must have done that when the Red Sox won the World Series. I didn't know that. I'll type in January and I will pull down. I don't think you get this. Oh, you do that as well. Okay, so I was wrong about that. But The point is that Google Drive updates whenever they feel like it. And whenever they make an update, whenever they have an add-on, right? This is another incredibly compelling factor about Google Drive. These add-ons. DrPost distributes a document to your students. You put in one document and it's a worksheet. It distributes it via a spreadsheet, and then you can actually click on links to see each of those students' spreadsheets. It's really, really cool. Now, I don't have time in this video, which is going crazy in time anyway, to tell you all that, but add-ons are great. There are all sorts of add-ons that do neat things. Flubaroo will do automatic grading of a spreadsheet via a survey form, so that you can give kids short answer questions, and the computer will grade it for you based upon an answer sheet. Okay, there's many add-ons, and they just keep accumulating as we move forward, and that's not something Excel has. I'm not going to say that Google Drive is better than Excel. I am just going to say it's different than Excel, but it does have lots and lots of compelling features. All right. Now let's go ahead and do the last problem, and I'm sorry for the length of this, but this is something that I think about and love a lot. So let's go to our third problem. I'm going to click on 1 through 21 and go up to the menu Edit and choose Delete. And we have problem 3, and I'm going to click on 1 and sorry for this, I'm going back and forth and driving myself crazy a little bit. 1 through 18 here, and now I go to Edit and I delete those rows. And this is one of my favorite problems as well. We know that Celsius temperatures, might be minus 100 degrees, minus 90 degrees, and then I can make that pattern go on. And Fahrenheit, I believe, is equal 9/5 times the Celsius plus 32, and I can check my work because I believe 0 degrees Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit. Yes, it is. And then 100 degrees for boiling is 212, so this works. So I discover that minus 40 is the same in Celsius as Fahrenheit, but there are other formulas in Excel which, if this was a lot of data, I couldn't do it by eyeballing it. So I could say equal if, and I could say if this equals this one, then say same, otherwise say nothing. And now if I fill that down, I can have the computer figure out that this is the row where Celsius equals Fahrenheit. Can you do that on Excel? Of course you can do it on Excel, because for the most part the Google Drive programmers created an environment which parallels what's been wonderful about Excel for almost 30 years. Minus 100, minus 90, highlight the 2, grab down, pull down, come over here, use the formula, equals, and where's my brain? It is equal to 9/5 times minus 100 plus 32, and I'm going to tap here, and now I'm going to bring that down, and I'm going to see the same results. Is there an if formula? Of course there's an if formula. right? There's equal if parenthesis, and I can say that equals that. If they're the same, then same, otherwise blank. There's about 100 formulas in both Excel and Google Drive, and the average person uses one or two, or actually zero probably. And part of getting better in these environments is learning what can be advantageous, as well as learning, add-ons like Google, like DrPost and Flubaroo that do neat things and track changes. There's all sorts of things in both environments, Excel and Google Drive. And if Excel ever got to be as sharing friendly as Google Drive, and I know that it's that direction, then the two things would be on the same playing field. You can also do conditional, so you can highlight those things, and then you can say conditional formatting, and you can say if the text, I don't know, if it's equal to -40, then we will go background color green for the Celtics and save rules, and you can do something like that. And you can do the same thing over here with Excel with conditional formatting, and you can say new rule if the number is 40, whoops, this is too fancy for me here. If the number is minimum maximum, I don't think I want minimum maximum. All right, I'm going to stop here. This is Steve Bergen signing off. I hope this video, which has been 20 minutes, has given you some glimpses into cool things you can do in Excel versus Google Drive. And it's a little bit like the debate in Boston about which of these athletes should be on the Massachusetts-Boston Mount Rushmore Hall of Fame. There's lots of arguments for different people to be considered the best athletes or athletic influences of the last 100 years, and the debate is good. I love Excel. I love Google Drive. I love the empowering ways that you can take data and do interesting things with it and manipulate it. I've got a spreadsheet, I think, called tinyurl.com/presidents33, and if I press return on that URL, it's a spreadsheet that you can access. It's totally public, and it contains presidents of the United States together with key information about them, and you can do neat things. There's one here, transpose, in which you can take the data and you can make it go the other way. So sorry for adding one more thing. I can take this data and I can copy it, and I can come down and create a new worksheet, and then instead of choosing regular paste, I'm going to choose transpose. Oh no, I know what it is. It's the formula. It's a transpose formula in which you say equals transpose. That's another difference between Google Drive and Excel. There's a formula called equal transpose that you use in Excel, whereas in Google Drive, whereas in Excel, you take the data and you copy and paste it and you do the transpose. All right, I'm going to shut up because this is getting way too long. Take care, and I would be glad to show you more individually or talk to you individually about this. Thanks. Bye. Steve Bergen signing off.